Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Huya Morka.
Wow, already Nelly and
Nellie's right on top of it today. And there's an Inika with a hello, everybody. Hi, Roz. Guten Tag, Hashim.
Guten Tag.
Now I did that. We lost our good morning.
Yeah. Well, that's how we started with our good morning.
We
were first.
Should I put my name back there? Or leave it just us smiling?
Well, who are you, sir? And who am I?
You're not there.
No, it's good.
It's good?
Yes.
Should I take me out too?
Yeah.
So we'll just sit here like this. So look what I have this morning. This is pretty cool. I had delivered to me a couple minutes ago a cup of coffee. It's decaf coffee.
Yeah.
Which is better for me. And
I have myself
with soy milk.
Tea. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Brooke. Do we know Brooke?
I think the name Brooke sounds familiar. Brooke? Not sure if it's that one. Been a long time then. I mean, a few months maybe.
Is that anything like a river or a stream? Brook. That's what you call a little bitty stream, a little mountain stream is a brook.
How cute. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
It's a new word for me. Well, all brooks lead to the ocean.
I don't know that I've hardly ever heard anybody actually use the word brook in a sentence.
Yes, we know.
You said, oh, look at that nice little brook there. I think the common language term I know for a little bitty one of those is stream. So I wonder what's the difference between a brook and a stream. Yes.
Yes, in the sense that I think we know him.
It's a 19th century term. That's what it is. We're modern. So we don't have brooks anymore. Now we have rivers and streams.
It is a beautiful word.
It is a nice word.
Yeah. His parents must be poets.
But is brook a he? Are you a he brook or a she brook?
Oh,
we can't see the picture. The picture doesn't really show up well. Anyway, so we were yesterday and the last couple of days doing work on the ashram. Matri came back, and when she just got a burst of energy and wanted to work on the garden.
Yes.
Or the front, out there. And
we can call it garden.
Well, it's kind of turning into a garden.
Yeah.
When I'm here alone for a few months, it turns away from being a garden and just a bunch of weeds.
And Ramadasan is from Malaysia, new with us. Nice to introduce yourself like that.
Hi, Ramadasan.
From
Malaysia. I was through only Kuala Lumpur 1 day layover in an airplane. That's my total exposure to Malaysia. But I find Malaysian people to be pretty nice people. So anyway, nice to meet you. Anyway, so we started working on the garden.
Yes.
And we have out there in our parking area, you know how in fancy big parking spaces you have a big concrete or something thing where you roll your front wheels of your car up to that. I don't know what you call those things. Well, we don't have those because they just
way too heavy.
And they're extremely heavy to pick up. And I remember looking around, I didn't know where to buy one of those. And so we got
You're not broadcasting on the Satsang page.
I wonder why. Well, let me go see here. Don't tell me I forgot to broadcast it properly. Let me look here. I'm looking.
Yeah, there we
You're
are.
right. I thank you. I will forward it. I will share it. I'm accidentally putting it there. We're working on it. Just stand by. Thank you for telling me that a group name is
Yasa Asha. With an H.
oops. A-B-H.
There it is.
Okay, now, if you would be so kind, Raj, to check it again
And see if you also can make comments from that group.
and let me know. But people found it somehow. Anyway, so Raj will give me an update. Did he say? No, he didn't say anything. Good. What? He didn't say anything.
No, it's just good that he noticed it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, when you set the meeting up, you have to, the default position is that it comes out on your own page, on your personal page, on your account page. Because when you set this up, Okay, well, I guess I can go over there and look. It's probably. Momentarily,
we're working on some maintenance.
We're working on maintenance anyway, so yes. So it's showing up there now. We forwarded it live.
Why don't you say hi there?
Hi.
Just curious.
I'll say hi there. You want to see if it shows up over here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Now he checked. Now you're on the Satsang page. I just forwarded it, and so anyway.
But our comment does not show up.
Our comment did not show up. I wonder why.
Because it.
Oh, that's because.
Yeah. That's why I was curious if it would
I
do
put
that.
the comment. Well, so.
I'll grab.
Well, that's because we. So what happens is you got a message because we are friends, Nellie. Yeah. And I think the way it works is when I properly schedule it in the Satsang group, I think the reminder goes to the people in the Satsang group. So it was just a boo-boo. I've done it before, not often, just accidentally forgot to tell it to change where it's going. Anyway, yeah, it's maintenance. Anyway, so we were working on things, and I was telling you about the road bumper things, and so we have some bricks that are out there, concrete blocks, and I had painted them yellow a few years ago.
May I make one comment in between? If someone makes a comment on the Satsang page group, can someone keep an eye on it? And
that's what I was just. I was starting to say that too. Yeah, okay. Pass it on if you would.
Thank you.
And maybe tell that person that the streaming is out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe put a comment there. To make comments, please. Go to the page that it came from or something like that. Anyway, it'll all work out.
It all works out.
Some of you found us anyway. Anyway, what was I saying? So anyway, we have concrete blocks sort of thing. Thank you, Raj. Raj will keep an eye. So the yellow paint, I took those blocks and I painted them yellow. I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that, so that it looked a little bit like, hi Terry, so that it looked a little bit like a, real parking space with a yellow thing on there. And the yellow paint faded. So we thought, well, while we're making things pretty again,
You contributed.
I contributed by repainting the blocks a new yellow. We got some really bright yellow. And so we were out there doing that and thinking about this morning and hanging out together on Sunday morning. And I thought, maintenance, that's what we should talk about.
So here we are.
So I said, Ma, what do you think we talk about maintenance? And it's part of yogic practice. We have to maintain our homes. We have to maintain our bodies. We have to maintain our minds. We have to maintain our relationships with other people and things and stuff and all of that good stuff. So that was where the topic maintenance came from. And it made me realize that in some sense, all of the preparation, short of samadhi, has something to do with maintenance. We have to maintain the body, and we have to so it's yamas and niyamas. Hello, Matesh.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. And so that's my part. I came up with, now you turned it into something of wisdom, Ma.
Well, the one thing that came up is that now that I have this little place in Holland, besides this ashram, I have to maintain something all by myself. No, I got help from people, but it's small and it's doable. But as I was doing that for a few weeks, I was catching myself thinking, when is it done? If I do this and this and this and this, then it's done.
Yeah.
And so I would have a mental to-do list. Once in a while, I would really write it down. And every day I would just wake up, do practice, eat breakfast and all of that. And then what's to do today? What's the day for? And so naturally something would come up. And that was then the thing to do for that day.
And you would think you were finished.
And then at one point I was catching this, one more of this. But of course you have 3 things on your list. You have 1 thing done. You think you're almost there. Number 4 appears. And so as I was catching myself, I said, it was not a big dramatic, oh no, when is it going to be finished?
When's it going to be
it's never
finished?
Going to be I was just catching the anticipation of that feeling of being finished. And then of sitting with that feeling.
And finally, someday I will have life just right.
Just right.
Sound familiar, everybody?
I hope so, that I'm not the only. But
no, it's only you. Only you. You're the only
but then
one that
realizing
ever had
that, of course, fortunately, some wisdom came in, and it's never going to be finished in a sense in a moment of time, because it's just a perpetual change and the play of time, space, and causation. And
the yogic notion is that
the
yogic notion is that there's only one thing, for lack of a better word, that doesn't constantly change
and doesn't need maintenance.
And doesn't need maintenance. There's only one thing, and that is the truth, the reality, the pure consciousness.
Yeah, so that, of course, then I brought here in the garden with the weeds is continuous. You pluck them, they grow. They pluck them, they grow.
See, it's that
does not need maintenance.
This doesn't need maintenance. All the rest of this has something to do with maintenance, right?
Yes. And although we wish, of course, that at one point all the samskaras, all the weeds, so to speak, not that all samskaras are bad and weeds, it's not a nice.
But here's another comment too. Once we allow ourselves to see it, the joy of living in a body in this world out here actually is the part that has to do with maintenance. So the very thing that we might be most likely to complain about, maintaining the new little ashram, maintaining this one, the maintenance we might complain about is actually the key component in joyful living, so to speak.
So I think that's why I really enjoyed the topic.
Or we could call this, life or the joy beyond maintenance. We could call non-maintenance yoga, TM, trademark. We could trademark non-maintenance yoga.
We're going to compete with Gun yoga.
Or maintenance yoga.
Yeah.
Wow. That would do it. That would be big business.
Mm-hmm.
They say yoga is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We could be industry stars. What do you think?
That's a lot to maintain.
With maintenance yoga.
That's a lot.
That's pretty complicated.
I don't want to maintain a style of yoga. It's a lot of work.
So we should not. You think we should not have a style of yoga called maintenance yoga?
No, sorry to burst your bubble.
Okay. We'll just keep it very simple.
Very simple. Just yoga, and we
simple
keep maintaining.
life, and just maintain what is around us. And there is Leela. And remember, everybody, this afternoon, round about 5 to 6 hours from now, we will be together, and Leela will put on her preacher persona, and we will be with preacher. Yeah.
I like you, Terry. I love
Thank you. Don't listen to Ma. Terry says I should not listen to you.
No.
But my yoga. Of course, the funny part of that is that makes it my yoga. MY is my yoga, is maintenance yoga. And then if I say yoga, then it's maintenance yoga. Anyway, we'll work out the details, Terry.
Yeah, you can help him set up.
Yeah, Terry is going to make it happen.
I'll just keep to the garden.
You could.
I was remembering a story, Swamiji.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
That Swami Rama was telling that, I don't know with whom he was walking, but that there was an old sage that was kind of crippled over, or an old yogi, or an old sadhaka. I don't even know what name to give him. An old dude, and it was crippling.
A senior, as it were.
And that Swami Rama made the comment that to whoever he was walking with, that
this is all
man,
prelude to the story, everybody.
Because it's just one sentence, is that this man stopped doing asanas and hatha yoga, and in the sense of I
know I told you the story.
Yes, all the stories I know from you, Samanti.
No, you read some of the books.
I read some of the books, but I
don't know where he told that story. I don't recall.
No. It doesn't matter. I know it.
Yeah. So it's just a story anyway.
I can make it up.
You can make it up.
Just make it up story.
It's not totally
I will do that
up.
When you're gone. I'll tell all kinds of things that you told. That's not true. But
she's planning my demise.
For teaching measures.
That means, Terry, it's going to be up to you to keep maintenance yoga alive and well and flourishing.
Yes.
Now, anyway, rest of the point of your story.
No, but to say that the asana practice, just as it comes to the body part, is a part of maintenance. And I know that if you just stop doing it, you'll find differences after a while. Joyful living indeed. Just
say that again. What was that punchline? The bottom line was what? I missed it.
So if you stop doing asanas, for example, or simple joints and glands, or walking, if you stop doing the maintenance, it falls apart. The body will get stiff again, and it will be an obstacle again on the path. So,
yeah, and I noticed this as I was pondering maintenance and what we're doing there. Notice the way that weeds come.
Yes.
And if you don't tend to the maintenance, there's all these little weed sort of things that have this incredible ability to persist. They just keep growing and multiplying and diversifying. And this is built into the nature of the way reality operates. It just keeps, it's what you were saying.
So it's for a long time without a break, Abhyasa. The maintenance is for a long time without a break, with sincere devotion, because if not, maintenance is done.
And so enjoy the maintenance.
Yes. I think, yes.
We could write a book, The Art of Joyful Maintenance.
Because it will have in it. It's a pretty nice family. I like it. You can work it with Terry. I've got other stuff to do too, but that because he and a thought like that is easily shared, Terry. If you hang out long enough, you get a bunch on your to-do list, and then you'll know you'll never ever get it finished this lifetime. With all the animations I still have to make and courses that are still on the list and all that. But and then we'll go back to Ineka's comment. But
well,
so
it reminds me of a story that, of someone who was one of Swami Rama's people who functions as a kind of secretary, and had read or heard, I guess, read where Swami Rama was talking about the reduced need for sleep as we do sadhana, in which can come naturally. Yeah. And so she said, Swamiji,
I want to master sleep.
I want to master sleep. You talked about this, and I want to do this. Will you help me do that? And he said, well, yes, of course. So he gave her some work to do, and then he gave her some more work to do. And, she wasn't able to get any sleep. She was working, just constantly sitting there trying to hold her head up as she was working, doing office paperwork and things like that. And before she could get anything done, he would give her another task to do. And she finally just got completely, totally exhausted after it only took a couple days of this.
She fell asleep in the middle of a concert they were doing, like kirtan, or something with her flute and something. But I'm not
fell
sure.
Asleep with her flute. It was something like that. Anyway, so you remind me also. Yeah. I can remember back.
Shall we read his comment first?
But I remember like back in my 20s when I had like a day job, and grumbling that working a full day, 5 days a week was too much. This employer was imposing upon my life. I needed to find a life that has more time available. And so I started changing things, and I ended up going in this direction. I thought, okay, then I'm going to finally have free time.
Yeah, now's the world.
But then I realized that I ended up with a tiny version of what Swami Rama ended up in, a big version. He was living in the Himalayas. Life was good, simple life, living in the Himalayas, meditating and all this. And the boss came along and told him to leave India, threw him out, told him to go to the West and teach people like us fools. Thank
you very much, Swamiji, for doing that.
And didn't want to do it. And so he kept being given more work and more work and more work and more work. And so he got booted out of the country. He got booted out of the Himalayas. And so I ended up sort of with my version of that. And I went from a 5-day work week up to a 6-day work week, and we got 1 day off. And I thought, this is not fair. This is not right. I'm losing ground. I've gone from a 40-hour work week, 5 days a week. Now I'm working 6 days a week. This is not fair at all. Even then, I did not see the pattern coming, that we were headed towards a 7-day week.
Sounds like residency.
Sounds like life. And if we're doing maintenance, it doesn't matter whether it's at our day job or whatever that is, even if we're self-employed and our own boss. And then you have to maintain your garden and all. And many of us, I'm probably sure, tell me if I'm wrong, but probably many of you are like me, grumbling that I was going from a 5-day-a-week job, and now I'm hanging around this Swami, and it's gone to a 6-day-a-week job, and then it ended up a 7-day-a-week job. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Well, guess what? This is the nature of the world we live in. And so it's all maintenance. Rojo brought some fruit, but she's standing over there eating it.
I'm not eating
but I see something that's not pineapple. She's sitting over there eating the raspberries and walking around munching on raspberries. But do we get any raspberries over here? Do you see any raspberries here for us to eat?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And who made her breakfast this
And
morning?
who made her breakfast this morning? Oatmeal, chai. Didn't she know this is a barter system? We want our payoff now. She's still ignoring us.
So with the maintenance,
Just bring us the bowl you got there.
I think also if you
It's 10:30.
if you don't see it as maintenance, but if you are working towards a goal and
Boy, now there's a troublemaker for you. Ha!
no retirement at all for Swami. Yeah, I didn't read that in the fine print.
I did. They did. Well, that's because I didn't. It wasn't in the fine print when I saw it either.
Yeah.
And I guess I just figured, well, if I didn't get the fine print, you don't get it either.
Wow, that's him sick.
Well, it's fair. But she's absolutely right. There is no retirement from this.
For nobody.
And if we hold it that way, we should say there's no retirement for a yogi.
Yes.
The form of what we're doing externally shifts around and changes. Now, she likes pineapple.
No, I don't.
Oh.
See?
No, but you could just given us the raspberries.
Look at these
Well, I
raspberries.
knew there were some in the fridge, and I didn't want to eat all your raspberries, so I got some more.
Oh, good. Thank you. Now, where are these? These are the ones you brought, or these the fridge ones?
They're in the fridge.
But I'm supposed to be making chocolate pudding later and putting this in it.
There's a whole nother thing of raspberries there, and I've got another one in that bag.
Wow. Thank you, Rojo.
Thank you.
Such a hard time.
Life is hard, isn't it? And how are the kittens doing?
Eagerly exploring the house.
She has kittens. So, maintenance.
So if you don't see it as maintenance, but again, if you're striving to get something done, then also there's a big chance that at the moment, as you are moving into if you're doing the maintenance, in a sense, you're not really enjoying it because you're headed towards future and you're not in the now.
So it reminded me also that what we can do in life, I'm pausing for the words, we can do a better and better job progressively at the art of skillfully managing our maintenance.
Yes.
So the decisions we make create our karma. Our need for maintenance is our karma. So do we lead a simple life with moderate maintenance that's enjoyable, that's okay, or do we create a monster for ourselves?
Yeah. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Barry.
Yeah, because if we have too much to maintain, then it's just constantly like.
In honor of Barry, I'm going to have another raspberry. Anyway, I think there's something to that, isn't there? So one of the words Swami Rama used to use, I used to find this irritating. I don't know why. I never liked the word, but it's grown on me. The thing that says you are the architect of your life.
I loved it in the beginning.
Well, I think I didn't create this mess. What are you kidding?
In that way.
This chaos out here, I didn't create this.
We didn't light the fire, says the song.
We didn't.
We didn't start the fire.
But we sure feed the fire, don't we?
Yep.
Maintenance.
The same as the people look back at the way they they have a family and a job and all of that, and they say, I don't have time, and
I don't
and get-
have time.
and then get the
Very
other,
good point.
all the other, as if you didn't voluntarily choose for children, or I didn't voluntarily choose to do a certain job, and because it's done unconsciously, we don't see that we were an active participant in setting it up.
I didn't do this. We have a napkin in case we need it. These are very nice, Rojo. Thank you. I'm having a pretty good morning this morning. Low maintenance, and I got a coffee and raspberries. I'm hanging out in pretty good company, I think, huh?
So anyone, any thoughts on maintenance?
They're all sitting there with the pencil and paper working out their to-do list.
Ooh,
Or
just a
they're
broken-
quietly grumbling at us because it's like, I don't want to hear that.
Broken glass. Did something break around here?
What is it?
Clear broken glass.
Where did that go?
Oh, it's right here.
No, I dropped a raspberry. Let's see it. Look, may I see the piece of glass?
I didn't break anything.
Just be careful. I guess.
Somebody broke something there sometime back. I don't remember who or what it was that was broken.
Maybe just a remnant from the long time
That's what I'm saying. Sometime, I think in the last, I don't know where I'm getting this number, but I think sometime in the last year. Everybody's being kind of quiet now. Maybe they're planning their to-do list. So what do you think of this?
So Inigo recognized the feeling of being busy and when is it finished, and this is what me is keeping busy in life. So it's
When, yeah, the key phrase there I see is, when will I be finished?
yeah.
We have the notion, don't we? It seems to be built into our nature with that we think that there's an out here worldly goal that's going to be finished. And I'm going to finally get it right.
And then I can take a break.
Then I can take a break.
Then I'll be happy.
Then I'll be happy.
I'll start doing practice after retirement.
Yeah, there's a big trap. I'm too busy. How many times have I heard that? I don't have time. Two meanings to the phrase, I don't have time.
I don't want to.
One is, I'm so buried in my maintenance duties that I did not create that I don't have time to do all this meditation stuff. These are tricks of the mind. The other usage of exactly the same words is the realization that, wait a minute, this world is constantly changing. There is no end to maintenance. And life in this body, in this situation, is temporary. It's not going to last forever. Wait a minute. I don't have time to waste. I need to figure out how to do this sadhana business right in the middle of doing maintenance.
Continuous maintenance.
Continuous maintenance. It doesn't end. And this is one of the things that strongly struck me yesterday as I was out there with a paintbrush in my hand and a bucket of yellow paint painting bricks. And what?
Sorry.
I'll say this and then we'll look at that. And I had this thought go through my mind, and it truly was a thought of lovingness and compassion as I was sitting there painting the bricks, and how utterly easy it was for me yesterday to remember Atman, to remember the levels of consciousness, to see the drama playing out of yellow paint and painting bricks, and be aware of the self, be aware right in the middle of doing it. It was so totally, utterly easy. And I felt this wave of emotion go through me of how can I communicate that to other people who are nice people and want to do something and have busy lives. And how can I communicate that to people that says, do it right in the middle of painting your bricks yellow? I mean, this literally happened to me yesterday, and I didn't have an answer to it other than let's have a conversation about maintenance. And so that's the key. We talk about this, and I know it sounds sometimes kind of picky, like giving people a hard time, and it's not. But an important thing, whether you call it contemplation or meditation and action, the vast majority of the sadhana that we need to do is right in the middle of an active life. One time I caught a sentence that Swami Rama said. It was an audio sentence. I don't remember if it was one of the talks he gave in the ashram in US. I don't remember where it was, but he made this comment that you can actually do this whole thing without ever sitting for meditation. And I never heard him or anybody else actively promote that approach. And I can understand why, because there's tremendous value in the sitting part of the thing. And so in a practical sense, it's essential. But once you've done that enough, then you come to see, this is what was really hitting me yesterday while I was painting the bricks yellow. That, wait a minute, I'm doing this. This has become so easy for me. Well, I've been doing it for decades.
Spontaneous.
And so it has just become natural. So meditation is a constant practice. It just is a constant practice. And I really mean it, that I felt this wave of loving compassion that says, people don't know this. How can this be communicated? And I don't claim to have an answer to it. And this conversation this morning, I'm not thinking that this is now we're going to end it. Now everybody forevermore is going to have the answer that we've.
Even satsang is a maintenance.
Even satsang is a maintenance. I have to even remember which address to put to stream the video into, which we're in the wrong video place. But there's something to this business of cultivating constant awareness. When I used to hear that years ago, constant awareness of the center of consciousness, this seemed like such an impossibility. I will do constant awareness when I'm finally living in a cave in the high Himalayas. I actually went cave shopping. I actually went cave shopping in the Himalayas, thinking maybe I could find a nice little cave. I found one vacant cave. A Swami in not Badrinath, in Gangotri. I told him I wanted to find a cave, and he knew of only one place where there might be a cave open until somebody died.
Cave realtor.
And so I found out where this cave was, and I went to where this cave was. You can still go find it. It was called Robber's Cave or something like that. And you walk along this flat area, you come to a certain place once you know where to look for it. And there's actually a cliff that goes down, and you have to climb a rope going down, probably about 6 or 7 meters down. And then down there below, there's a cave. Well, I wasn't strong enough I knew there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to climb up and down this rope every day.
You would have gotten really strong doing that.
Or I'd have died.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm just saying that to say, I had this fantasy about, wouldn't it be nice? Then I can have constant awareness because I'm a real yogi and I'm living in a cave in the Himalayas, and then it's all going to be wonderful. Well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. And believe it or not, we can do it right in the middle of brick painting.
Paying the bills.
Paying the bills.
Terry's saying, it's going to be a challenge finding the joy in paying the bills. That's my maintenance today. I will concentrate on the gratitude that I have electricity. It allows me to have this conversation on maintenance.
Yes, and the key to it, Terry, I know this sounds repetitive, but while you're doing that today, paying the bills, the key to that is not concentrate on gratitude. I'm not saying don't be grateful, but that is these are personality tricks that we think we're trying to play out here in Vaisranar, in this plane of reality.
Better to know
The key to it is to get yourself to remember the center of consciousness, which is this. So while you're paying the bills, I am Atman. Remember, we've done this many times. I am the observer operating outward through personality and mind and through a physical body, and the world is out here. So I am looking at my tree. But see, I am the Atman back here. I am the center of consciousness. And now I'm going to have another raspberry.
Atman doesn't need
see,
to
it comes into
Atman.
my body.
This is maintenance of the body.
It's maintenance of the body, and it's enjoying a raspberry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm just repeating the same old story, that the key is to remember that there is life back here operating outward. It's not that I am paying the bills.
Also, and if I may add what we talked about with the Yoga Sutra Satsang, maybe she finds that it's a little devashan, you're pushing against the bills or the institutions or whatever. And so to remember yourself, this is not useful, this is going to lead to unending misery.
Yeah.
Observing the dvesha instead of trying to bend it to the appearing opposite of what we think we should be.
Now,
grateful.
all of those things, this is going to sound like I'm saying the opposite, and I'm not. All of those things, like what Ma's talking about right now, and all of the yamas and the niyamas, all of that stuff there is preparations so that we can cultivate this mental stance of constant awareness of the center of consciousness.
Yes.
And that's the key.
I find I can do this at work, making peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but paying the bills is far more.
Do this at work.
Yeah, for her job, she makes peanut butter sandwiches. Peanut butter.
You knew that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she works for a school, making
Oh,
lunches.
that's right. I remember that now. But thank you, Terry. That is a perfect example. For everybody else, listen to that. She makes food for school children, including making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So if you find it, as you just said, I find I can do this while making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you allow that to be your ideal model that says basically, if I can have this awareness when I'm doing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, then tomorrow when I go to work, I'm really looking forward to going there because I get to practice meditation, and I can call it peanut butter and jelly yoga. Yeah, PBJY, peanut butter and jelly yoga. Of course, I shouldn't say too much here, or she'll want to resign from the maintenance yoga program. See how this happens? You get busier and busier and busier. But playfully, yet seriously, you just really hit the nail on the head, Terria. If you have one aspect of life where you find that this is relatively easy to do, which is what you just said, allow that to be the model. And then you say, wait a minute, if I can do that while making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, everybody else listen to this. If she can do it while making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, let me take that stance and turn it over here while I'm paying the bills. And gradually you will discover, wait a minute, I can do this in the middle of paying bills. I can do this, wait a minute. Then somewhere along the way, a few weeks, a few months, a couple of years, you'll say to me one day, you know what? I have finally discovered that I really can do constant awareness. That was the goal that was set up, that I saw that was in front of me, that seemed decades ago totally impossible. And I discovered now I'm back to me, but I discovered along the way that the instruction I was being given was accurate. It seemed like bad information. It seemed impossible. It seemed like the only way to do that is to retire and living in a cave in the Himalayas. Then I can have constant awareness. But I discovered that I was wrong, that I could do it right in the middle of making peanut butter. It makes me want to go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Except now, if I'm really fortunate, it won't need to be peanut butter. If I'm patient through the remainder of today, maybe I will find present in front of me another batch of chocolate hummus. Actually, yesterday I had a piece of toast, Terria, with chocolate hummus on it, and I put some jelly on top of
I wonder
it.
if she can make that at school.
And it was absolutely
But
heavenly
I bet if you
delicious.
had a say in the menu, it would be anyways different anyway. So it's not fair to make that comment. Yes, and the trays we serve him on have 5 sections, so I can contemplate on the aspect of mind and the Atman when I serve them in solitude. Salute the divinity in each child that takes a tray. I'm getting there.
Yes, that is exactly,
bills,
that's
yikes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful comment, Terria.
Yeah. And so this is the play of kleshas where that is obstructing it from seeing.
Yeah.
Because of
salute the divinity in each child. What a profound practice.
When I worked in the kitchen also.
I find it now, you remind me of something else too. I have learned to find it very easy to see Atman in everybody, in a public place, in a restaurant, or on driving a car, or in a shopping area. I find it very easy, and I'm going to finish this off here with another comment, to see the Atman in everybody, just like you're talking about with the children. It doesn't mean that at the surface level of personality that I don't see idiots. I mean, idiots are still idiots. Stupid politicians are still stupid politicians and make ridiculous, stupid, lying comments. And yet they're Atman. I find it easy to see the Atman in people like the children. But it doesn't mean that the surface level doesn't require some maintenance.
Some repairs.
Some repairs.
repairs.
And there's some weeds. There's some weeds in the garden, so you have to pluck the weeds. One time
every garden
in India, one time, Swami, I'm still sorting through this. I think I'm understanding it. But one day, Swami Rama, we were walking, and we were in the garden. We were either just leaving the garden to go out for a walk by the river, or we were just finishing coming back in. I don't remember now which it was. And he said to me, and there's a garden there with a lot of pretty flowers, and the gardener does a good job of rotating the flowers with the seasons and all that. Anyway, he never explained it to me which he actually meant, but he said to me all of a sudden out of nowhere, he says, "Your job is to pluck dead flowers." That's the precise quote of what he told me. Your job is to pluck dead flowers. And over time, I've come to realize, I started walking around the garden plucking the dead flowers, and gradually learning how, I'm not sure I did it very well at the time, gradually learning how to be aware of the center of consciousness while I'm walking around plucking dead flowers. And that was kind of fun to pluck the dead flowers when they were there and got old. But I'm not a gardener by nature. I didn't enjoy it. I really didn't enjoy doing that. Our weeds out here, she enjoys it. She's very, very good at it. And I'll tell her, I said, "You're really good at this." And she said, "Well, I enjoy it." And it's not something that for me is enjoyable. The conversation we're having doesn't mean that you and I must enjoy everything around. Doesn't mean we don't get to have choices about the kind of job we have, and we have choices about. Do
you like watering the flowers?
I prefer watering. When I'm in the habit of watering, I do a pretty good job with watering, and that's enjoyable.
Good.
Then anyway, now you got me off track there. What was I starting to say? Oh, your job
don't
is
have-
to
yeah.
pluck dead flowers.
We don't have to enjoy everything.
We don't have to suddenly force ourselves to enjoy everything. If you're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the kids, okay. If they were making you stand there and flip hamburgers, greasy hamburgers, and you don't want to feed the kids hamburgers, that might be hard. I would have trouble cooking hamburgers and giving it to children. Personally, I would have trouble with that.
Well, and it's not that
I'd probably get fired before long because I wouldn't be able to resist making some comment about how unhealthy
and
it
it's
was.
not about that we have to learn to enjoy everything, because if we see the Atman, naturally the joy that's always ever present
That's-
comes forward, and then even paying the bills becomes joyful, not because it's fun to pay the bills, but because you're residing in
Thank you. As often
joy.
happens, that's what she just said is the point I was trying to make before. Do it with the sandwiches, and then gradually you can do it with the bills. She just said it more clearly.
versus a combination of enjoying the activity and then resting in the everlasting joy that's always there, and then gradually it doesn't anymore matter what activity you do.
Then it doesn't matter. Then
Because you just do the thing you need to do. That's right in front of you.
That's when we're actually really living this notion of constant awareness and joyful living.
Right,
But
and the maintenance, the
But the
repair.
key to the joyful living is the constant awareness.
Yes.
That's the key to the thing.
Yolanda's here with us too. She's liking us.
The other comment,
The other pictures I don't.
that Terry had made earlier about concentrating on gratitude. That's a nice thing to do, but the key still is the constant awareness of the center.
It always comes back to that.
It always comes back to that. And so the gratitude and the joy that Matri just mentioned, those are the side effects, the beautiful, wonderful side effects that come.
And then you are Arjuna going to the bathroom.
That is, boy, you are really on a roll here today, Terry. That is exactly right.
I sometimes use music to make a task enjoyable. Yes.
That's nice to have music to make a task enjoyable.
But eventually
Now,
the music
hear
was
this. I'm
silent.
going to try to say this cautiously. It's nothing.
I see.
That didn't sound very cautious.
What?
Listening to the music is nothing compared to constant awareness of the center.
But I sometimes do enjoy also putting on some music while I take a shower, and I dance in the shower. So life is playful. We should make it fun.
Tell me about mindful meditation.
Well, look at the last hour.
This look at the last hour. And I will add here
Playfully.
that it's a difficult topic to talk about, mindful meditation, because a phenomenon has happened in the recent couple decades in our modern world. There has been an invention of something that some people claim to be different, claim to be its own unique thing. I do mindfulness meditation. Well, the phrase is a modern invention that has been widely marketed, and you can go to spend a lot of money on workshops, and if you want to write a book and sell a lot, just put mindfulness in the title.
Ooh, mindfulness maintenance.
I know a fellow who has recently started a mindfulness alcohol and drug treatment center. I'm not saying that the work being done there is bad, but we have created this notion that somehow there is this unique thing called mindful meditation. You know, mindful, I don't even know how to talk about it. There's so much of this. And
You cannot live
and
be in
it's
meditation
weeds.
without-
It's weeds in the garden. The underlying principle is what we're talking about. But as soon as we pull it out and we put it as a separate thing over here and say, I do mindful meditation because that's the latest, greatest, best thing, best product on the market, I don't know. The people who are running the workshops and retreats and seminars and calling it mindful meditation, they have a lot of customers. And I
They've
wish them well.
succeeded in making a brand.
And they succeeded in making a brand. That's the word brand. We live in
Making
a
it a
world
thing,
that
maybe.
one of the weed phenomenons that happens, which is why we have to maintain our gardens, is branding. Everybody has a brand. It's what has happened. Anyway, so how can I tell you about mindful meditation? I can't.
I see Yolanda.
Is that her in blue there?
That's Yolanda, yes.
Yolanda doesn't have a face anymore. She's just a big blue
No,
dot.
what you see her doing is a posture where you have your feet together and you bend forward and there's 2 hearts under her knees.
All I see is a blue
Oh,
dot.
no, this is Yolanda. I don't know who is blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I see. Okay, I don't know. Somebody's blue.
Someone has a blue.
Somebody's all blue.
And that's Bertil. I know that one, but this one.
That's
I don't know.
Bertil?
Bertil, the Dutchie that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. And there's Yolanda there.
Yeah.
There's another Yolanda.
Oh, it does show. Hey, you have to just go on the. Okay, we're too late now to see who was the blue then, but.
Now we got a bunch of we got thumbs ups and hearts from Yolanda. I see. That's what that little row is there. I
A
noticed
love
that row
reaction,
there
yeah.
and I didn't know what it was.
Which is nice because previously we didn't see that. So it's
Yeah,
not a way for
they've
us to see
added
who's
that on
here.
there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on the hour, Samji.
Oh my. It's time to go we should go maintain something.
I still have to water some plants.
We'll have to water some plants. Maybe I should go wash the dishes.
Yeah, that's an ongoing process.
Yeah. I hope all of you have figured out what maintenance you can go do now to run this experiment. Let's call it mindfulness maintenance. There, thank you. Now we've got it, Shobha. Now we've got Yes, we now have Terry. We now have MM.
At we do
Mindfulness meditation yoga. That's a good brand. We have 2 very famous brands. Mindfulness is a popular brand, and yoga as a brand. So we can have mindfulness meditation.
Now we can see who this is. Aha.
Siron Jonathan Lavery.
Nice. So because this is previously what we didn't see who was.
We have a little bitty dot. It's a couple millimeters across. We can barely see it.
The profile picture, but if we scroll over it, that's Bertil. He's
and
laughing.
Bertil. You can tell that he's laughing by seeing that.
Yeah, you see that there's
there's a little laughing.
So there's a laugh.
These are too small on this computer. They're very hard to see. But that was a heart from Siron Jonathan. Maybe we should call him Jonathan first.
Maybe.
Anyway, we don't know how to pronounce Chiron. Anyway, maybe we're having some new people show up because this is streaming directly from my page rather than in the Ashram Satsang group.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed what we did,
if you're seeing
there's
this,
an Abhyasa
if
Ashram
Siron
Satsang
or Shobha or whoever is enjoy the mindfulness maintenance.
Y'all.
We are streaming this out of my personal video. We're streaming this video out of my personal page, personal Facebook page today by mistake, because when I set the schedule up to go out, it was supposed to go out through our Abhyasa Ashram Satsang group, and I simply forgot to set it up in that way. So the default position was it went out through my page. And Raj caught that, and we went over and put in a forwarding thing. So this is now also streaming in the Ashram Satsang group. But normally it's not streaming on your page, on my personal page. Now, in fact, maybe if this is the case, maybe what we should start doing when I schedule up is stream it into the Satsang group and share it into my personal page, and we can share it into your page. We can do that.
Yeah, that's a big
we can share it in a couple other places.
Oh, nice.
We'll look at those possibilities.
Shobha has seen your
Your
website.
work, my swamij.com website.
Yeah.
Okay. And so maybe Raj, are you still there? Maybe you can do a favor here and put in the hyperlink in the comments of the Facebook Satsang group, so that those who are visiting this there can find it if they're curious. Or maybe after we're done, I'll go in and change the title and say this was supposed to be streamed here. Anyway, fun time anyway. Thank you for visiting. Thank you all for playing.
Have fun maintaining.
Have fun with your mindfulness maintenance yoga. Your mindful maintenance yoga. Hi, Gurvinder. Oh, good. Shobha's still speaking to me.
Yes, of course.
Well, I didn't know. I made a little bit of comment about mindfulness, and
Maybe it confirmed an intuition he had. Never know.
okay. So remember, we're going to be back in the Ashram Satsang group in 5 hours from now with Preacher Leela. And what are we going through? Are we still going through Book of Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
We're still going through Book of Wisdom.
Just in first few
And now we
verses.
got the real Bertol with hands.
Yeah. So thanks, Hashim, and all the other ones. With
Yes,
folded
thank
hands.
you all. Thank you for playing.
We're seeing the Atman in
Have
each
a
other.
nice day. Seeing. Is that what you're? I see the Atman in you. I see the Atman in you.
Mm-hmm. Tatvamasi.
Tatvamasi. Thanks for playing, Barry.
Mhm.
Good stuff, Terria. Thank you.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come anytime, Shobha. And go over there when we put that post there and look at the satsang group and hang out there if you're curious. So let's see. What should be the last word? Maybe those nice little hands from Nellie. Yeah. Well, let's let Nellie have the last word with 6 hands. We only have 4 over here, but we have a rojo over on the couch, either sleeping or doing contemplation. We're not sure what. We never know about her.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, bye-bye. Dewey for the Dutchies. Dewey. Boy, look, we got lots of little things from Gurvinder. We got a couple hearts and a thumbs up.
Sweet.
Very sweet. Bye-bye, all.
Om Tat Sat.
Om.